government is bound by the law. Yes.
Who is the person? Because it must sit on. I mean, you mentioned the Attorney General, but who is the person then who is supposed to grant the details of this disclosure?
It is a respective agency.
Who are those?
In this particular case, it would be the people entered into the contract. The ministry, I believe, it would be the Ministry of Transport, Kenya Aviation Authority, and the person who was entering into the contract, the ones who did the request for proposals. That government agency would be the one to disclose.
Okay. So we've done little bits here and there, but why would they not want to disclose? Why would you have to ask once, twice? Why would any of these interested parties not want to disclose what should be very public information?
Okay, so what I have seen from the past, because I can just say from my experience with the past, one, they fear that public disclosure of contracts of this kind will discourage some third parties to enter into contracts that are useful for the Kenya government. So they always use this argument that, oh, if we disclose the contract, it will have an effect on the way the contract is managed, or we put in place a clause of non-disclosure. And of course, that clause might be contrary to our law, but they put it in place. So they start saying that disclosure is going to breach the contract. But in the process of negotiating the contract, they knew our law. So sometimes they use those kind of arguments. Secondly, I think there's just that inertia and instinct in certain sections of government to have privacy or secrets, or not to disclose too much, because they feel that Kenyans are not able to effectively digest information. They don't trust Kenyans, and the Constitution trusts us to be able to understand the information. So those are the basic reasons that they give, but there's also the fact that sometimes the deal that has been entered into is contrary to the interests of Kenyans. And disclosure will bring out some of those particulars. That sometimes is also a reason why there is a resistance to full disclosure.
We can almost hear it coming off the car vehicles, car tops now, that there is a very public disengagement from the government wanting to develop. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we know already what will come out, that it doesn't really matter what factions. When you ask for such a thing, it will be seen as a stumbling block in the road of development. Would you be expecting such a response from anybody who is on the other end of the insistence on the public disclosure of these issues?
Yeah, that is a response that we've received. Even when even when you are in court cases pursuing disclosure on some of these projects, that is a kind of response we receive. That this project is in the public interest. These are just a few people who are expressing concern about it. Other countries have developed. So it's like it's used as a canard or as something to reduce the disclosure that on this side we are showing you a very gleaming new airport or a gleaming new project, and the vision is wow, fantastic. It's almost as if Kenyans are being told, please allow some violations of the law. If there is a bit of corruption, 5-10%, 15%, it's okay. At the end of the day, you are getting a really good project. And I think Kenyans have a right to say, yes, we have a right to development, but we also have a right to information, to integrity in management of our projects, and to value for money in the projects. The two things can be concurrent. They can happen at the same